Yo, 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 what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Just a Guy on My Lunch Break. Let me turn these windshield wipers off so that's not all you're hearing for the entirety of this video. And yes, that's right. I am, in fact, drinking coffee through a straw. Probably one of the gayest things that can be done by someone who is actually not homosexual. But I'm just a guy on my lunch break, bro. You know, I talk about drug addiction on here. So if you're looking for a guy who always does non-quirky things that make complete and total sense, you probably need to keep scrolling, because on here, talk about drug addiction, diarrhea, poor sexual experiences, and yes, just a guy on my lunch break drinks coffee through a straw. Get over it. Anyway, that's probably the most strange way I've ever started a video ever since I've been doing this channel. But congratulations, you were here to witness it. Hope you guys are doing well. I didn't get a chance to post yesterday, just had too much stuff going on. I try to post every day, but sometimes I just can't do it. Yeah, so my taper last weekend kind of just went to shit, if I'm being completely honest. I've heard people say that it's easier for them to actually maintain a taper and or take less Kratom when they are at home. I find the opposite to be true for me. I have an easier time, like while I'm at work, when I'm away from my family, stuff like that. I have an easier time during that section of my day, not, taking an overabundance of Kratom or whatever. It becomes more difficult for me when I'm at home with my family, because I love my family. I want it to be more lighthearted. I want to be in a better mood. I want to be super dad. I want to be this. I want to be that, right? And, the Kratom, at least in the short term, tends to help me with that. So being at home for me is kind of a trigger, because, as of the end of the week, last week, I was right at about 20 grams daily. As long as I took some of that throughout the night, I was sleeping okay with that. It wasn't anything. If I'm doing, I feel like I'm pretty comfortable right now at 20 grams per day. It seems like even if I'm jacking it up a little bit on the weekends, but the point I'm getting at is I don't know how many I took per day this weekend. I was stuck inside the house all day Saturday. It rained from dusk to dawn. And it was one of those things where I didn't go outside. I didn't do anything. That's rare for me. Usually I'm a go out in the sun, do this, do that, some sort of project going on. And my wife and I just love getting outside. We're outside sort of people, right? So I'm usually, whether it's going out and jogging 4 to 6 miles, I'm usually trying to find an excuse to go outside, right? Well, I couldn't do that on Saturday because it was, raining profusely. I ain't talking about no sprinkling. I'm talking about, as the old timers say, raining cats and dogs, right? And it was doing that Saturday, so I was inside all day. I don't know how much I took. I lost count. I probably took 30 grams or more, maybe more than 30 grams. So I definitely struggle with that, but I've done that. I shouldn't say I've done that. I do that on the weekends, and then I typically don't have any problem, going back to the 20 grams when the week starts. And then as long as I keep a certain amount of my, Kratom for the nighttime to actually sleep with it, I seem to be doing okay with that, right? I will have this period between, let's say I take my last dose at around 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock. Right? Well, at that point, I'm going to go to sleep. I don't take another dose before I actually fall asleep, because sometimes I'm falling asleep at 9 o'clock, because we have a little infant. We're tired. We get up early. We work our asses off. So a lot of times we're in bed by, 8:30, 9 o'clock, looking to maybe watch a couple of minutes of television until we drift off. So I don't take another dose after that evening dose. So a lot of times I'll go ahead and sleep until 1, 2, sometimes 3 in the morning, depending on how long I can make it. And then I'm waking up in slight withdrawal already. And a lot of times that happens by way of my dreams start getting super weird. They start getting a little more vivid, I guess you could say, a little more lucid. Because I think when I have a large amount of kratom in your system, or in my system, it seems to kind of suppress the dream state a little bit, I guess because it's more sedative, right? It seems to make sense. But when some of the sedation starts to wear off and it starts to work its way out of your system, then I start getting this like lucid dream sort of state going on. And it's also more like I'm sleeping on pins and needles, right? And that's how I know that when I start waking up, like by example, multiple times within an hour, from say 2 to 3:30, I'll notice that I'll wake up 3 times during that time, not for any reason other than just the kratom starting to work its way out of my system, right? So I'm starting to kind of get this little withdrawal thing going on. But I'm going to keep this video a little shorter today, so I'm just going to kind of rip on through. But I think what I might do ultimately, I will say, and I kind of have a dilemma. One of the reasons that I made the decision recently to go ahead and I was talking about coming off again is because I had a poor sexual experience. I had a bad sexual experience. I had like a kratom-induced impotence sort of experience. And, for any man that's got half an ego, it's like, damn, nah, fuck that, man, fuck that. Well, since then, I've had several experiences sexually that were great. No problems. No impotence whatsoever. You can ask my wife. Don't ask my wife. But everything's good, right? And so I've been forced to come to the conclusion that experience I had a couple of months ago was just completely a one-off. And it makes sense because when that happened, that was on a day where I had absolutely taken an asinine amount. I had taken a lot of kratom that day. I'm talking about in the realm of, I would say, 35 to 40 grams. That's a lot of kratom for one day, right? And anybody, it's going to affect you sexually to a degree, especially when you start getting into the higher amounts like that. Since then, I've had several experiences where everything was absolutely fine. But you're looking at days where I was taking 15, 20 grams tops, not anything really major, right? And so, I've had to look at that. That was one of the reasons that really caused me to want to come off of it. But the dilemma I have is, it's hard when things seem to be going really well for you and then you feel like you're getting a lot of benefit from the kratom. It's hard to then go and say and find a reason for needing to stop, right? It's easy when you're at the bottom of the barrel and you've been kicked in the teeth 100 times and you got this health problem and that health problem and then it's affecting you this way and then you're going broke and then your wife or your spouse is mad at you for doing it and then it's this and this and this. When everything's good and you've got it kind of where you want to be, it's kind of like, now why am I quitting again? That sort of thing. And I think that definitely has pretty large amount to do with why I'm just like hot then cold, hot then cold, hot then cold. When a bad experience will take place, it kind of gets me thinking about things. But then when that experience goes away and everything's good on the sexual front again, then I'm like, okay, wait, why now? Am I quitting? Because, I do get a lot of benefit from it as long as I'm taking it halfway responsibly and somewhat responsibly. Right? Because as you know, I'm not one of these people who just scoops kratom in my mouth all day and then eats poorly, leads a sedentary lifestyle, stays dehydrated. Like, I'm not that guy. I'm a person who, I take a moderate amount of kratom every day, but I'm also a super, super, super healthy individual outside of my kratom use. I exercise regularly and profusely. I drink a ton of water every day. I eat just about nothing but healthy foods. I might once, maybe twice a week, eat something that's a little bowl of ice cream here or there on the weekend, whatever. But, I'm also a person who goes and burns 10,000 calories in 1 week exercising and working, right? So I'm pretty active. So I've never experienced a lot of physical symptoms associated with using Kratom, where a lot of people have popped on the channel and they start talking about all these health problems they had and this and that and the other. And I can't help but wonder when I see those comments from people like, I wonder what the rest of your life looks like though. Because I've been using for about 4 years or more, and I've not really noticed a lot of this. The physical negative health consequences that people have noticed. But anyway, what I might end up doing is do a cold turkey situation. Go to work one morning, completely don't take any Kratom with me, force myself to go the whole day and afternoon without Kratom. It's going to suck. I'm going to have withdrawals. I'll probably have some loose bowels. But then what I can do is only take 1 dose per day. And I'm thinking this is something I might need to do, because the hanging off of the cliff for 3 months, trying to do this slow taper, is, I'm struggling with that right now. So I think sometime soon, I honestly might just go really drastic with it and just completely don't take any all day, all afternoon. And then I'll take 1 dose at night during my nighttime hours so that I can, get some sleep and stuff like that. And if you do that for about a week and a half, everything starts to level out. Then you'll be at a point where, okay, well, I'm only dosing once a day and I'm only taking, 7 to 10 grams per day. You can do a quick taper from 7 to 10 grams a day that'll only take you a couple of weeks. I'm struggling with the whole, I'm taking 20, 25 grams and now I'm going to do this slow taper that's going to take me 3 months to do the taper, right? I'm struggling with that. And for any who have, a lot of people jump on, just do this. It ain't that bad. Do this. Listen, everybody has different levels of comfortability and tolerance levels of doing stuff like this. And I want all of you to understand, I'm not only an extremely busy person, but I have an infant at home, okay? I have to get sleep. I have to get some sleep. If I were not taking any Kratom and I didn't have any sort of dependence on Kratom, I would still be getting woken up sometimes 3-4 times a night. Always at least 3. I'm getting woken up. 2 times for him to eat. Sometime, a 3rd time to get a diaper change. He'll start fussing about that. Last night, he woke us up 4 times. 4 times. And that's not to mention, I'll have to get up one time to use the bathroom because I'll have to piss. I take Kratom, that causes you to have to urinate more frequently. I'll have to get up and urinate at least once a night myself. So there are nights where I am up, awake, and out of bed 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, right? A lot of that is due to the fact that I have a young infant in the room with me. If I add a full-on Kratom withdrawal into the mix, I've done a cold turkey before. I have. But I also wasn't raising an infant and sleeping with an infant in the room with me when I did that either. When I did the cold turkey, I didn't have a little baby at that point. Not only that, I had been laid off from a job, and it was in between the time that I had not gotten another job yet. So I was getting paid a salary every day, a severance package from the company that I got laid off from, but I hadn't started another job. So I didn't have a baby. I wasn't working. I literally barely at that point had any responsibilities other than what I myself felt like doing around the house except sitting on Indeed and looking for jobs. Dropping a few resumes here and there. That's literally all the responsibilities, and maybe taking a shower and cleaning my house up a little bit. That's the only responsibilities I had, were responsibilities that I saw fit to put on myself during that time. So I was able to do a cold turkey. Right now, it's a big no-no, bro. So before anybody jumps in the comments, just do this, just do that, like, listen, you're not where I'm at, bro. No offense, but you're not where I'm at. So that's why I say, we can encourage each other and give our opinions and, spit some knowledge to somebody else. Like, hey, I think maybe you should go this route about it, or maybe you should go this route. But, don't be dropping salt and hate on people, because everybody's not in the same situation that you are. And even if they were in the same situation, maybe they have different levels of tolerance for pain, or they have different levels. Now, I'm a guy who I feel like I can tolerate pain pretty well, but I also don't want to be an idiot about it, and I need to do this in a way. If I'm going to come off, I need to do this in a way where it makes sense, where I can still function for my family every day, or I'm just going to wait until my little boy gets a little older and, I cannot have all the nighttime responsibilities that I'm having right now. But, look, I'm going to read a few comments first, and then I'm going to go. At G-Klein. Today is the third day with no Kratom. I slept like crap last night and made the mistake of taking some Benadryl. Definitely made things worse. Hope you have a good weekend, brother. G. Klein, thank you so much, bro. Hey, listen, you're not the first person to say that. And I've heard people drop the B word, Benadryl, the B word on here a few times. I've had my wife, who has never been addicted to opiates, when I was going through some sort of withdrawal, try to drop the B word on me. Why don't you take some Benadryl or something? That should help you sleep. I'm like, Benadryl ain't gonna do nothing but piss you off. Okay? If you're in full-on withdrawal, Benadryl is not going to do anything but annoy you, aggravate you. Because here's what people who have never been through an opiate withdrawal don't understand. They're thinking, oh, you can't sleep? Well, here, take something that'll make you sleepy. Okay, what they're not understanding is it's not that you're not sleepy. That's not the reason that you can't sleep. You're sleepy as hell. You can get sleepy when you're in withdrawal, but your body physically, the chemicals are so out of whack, it serves the purpose of giving you things like horrible lucid dreams, restless legs, not just legs, but for me, the whole core. It'll do it with my arms. I have discomfort in my chest. Your body, you're sleepy, but your body is constantly physically waking you up. And I've given this analogy before. It's much like having someone standing at the foot of your bed. You haven't slept in 6 days. Every time you start to doze off, they put their hands on your chest and your legs and do like this. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Oh, I'm just so tired. Just let me wake up, wake up, wake up. I mean, that's literally what I liken it to. And so it's one of those things where, for any of you who aren't really experienced with the whole opiate withdrawal or anything like an opiate sort of withdrawal, anybody who gets the bright idea, oh, just, take some Benadryl or, melatonin will fix that. Maybe if your withdrawals are slight and you're doing like a slow taper or something and you just having a little bit of general discomfort, maybe some Benadryl or some melatonin can kind of help just put you over the edge just enough to where you're able to stay asleep a little longer. Maybe. But if you're in full on, pretty serious acute withdrawals, Benadryl ain't gonna do shit. I promise. It's not gonna do anything except irritate you, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna make you more sleepy and more tired, but it's not gonna help you go to sleep. It's not going to fix the things that are actually causing you to stay awake. The restless legs, the uncontrolled muscle movements. Benadryl ain't gonna do anything for that stuff, right? So then you get this thing where I'm not only like waking up every few seconds and got all this discomfort in my muscles and in my mentally and all this other stuff, but then on top of it, I'm sleepy as shit and drowsy as shit. I would just rather just be awake. I would rather just be completely awake if I was going through some sort of severe cold turkey withdrawal. Does that make sense? I've tried that one time, like back when I was way younger, when I was coming off of like Percocets and Vicodins, and I realized real quick that Benadryl ain't helping nobody who's in opiate withdrawal. It ain't doing shit. I can tell you that. It's enough just to irritate you. It's going to make you a little bit more sleepy, but it's not going to do anything about the stuff that is actually causing you to stay awake, right? So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because I have talked about that a ton on this channel, and that's a very good point. Benadryl doesn't do shit. But listen, G Klein, it's your third day no Kratom. This comment is from a while ago, so if you're still going strong, brother, you should have been off of it for a little while now. Hope you're still doing that. Fingers crossed for you. Update us. Let us know where you're at, my man. At Tracy.WR7MJ. Has anyone been drinking coffee for a while and tried not drinking it cold turkey? I have before. I know other people that have tried it before. You will have some, if you quit coffee cold turkey, and if you drink a fair amount of it every day, you will have some physical side effects, sort of withdrawals from coming off of coffee. A lot of people have attempted to try to put Kratom in the same basket with coming off of coffee and stuff like, oh, it's just like coffee, man.